You're watching WRKM Channel 22, number one in the region. The following WRKM broadcast is for mature audiences only, so if your child is waiting up for Santa, I don't know why, because I think you and I both know the truth. Send the kid to bed. They can open their presents tomorrow morning. You want to enjoy a cool show, or do you want your kids to be happy? You gotta pick one. Choose yourself. It's always about you. It's always been about you. What are we talking about today? Well, we're talking about Christmas, man. It's the last episode of 2022, and we wanted to talk about something that means so much to us here on this show, and that's family and the holidays. I'm even going to wear a cool Christmas sweater. Do you want to know what it looks like? Well, you're going to have to watch the episode to find out. It's Christmas time. People are lonely. There's other talks we can't have when the sun is up. Good evening. I'm Rafael Ortiz, and this will end in darkness. Christmas. It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time. However the fuck the songs go. And I'm in the Christmas spirit. Look at my sweater. It's Santa and Jesus drinking eggnog. It combines my love of Catholicism and capitalism all together. Christmas. This will be our last episode for the year. We are taking a break for the holiday. And we will be coming back. We're aiming for January 23rd. We're going to take a little bit of a break, start, recharging, figure out new episodes for the show. Because just like the Alan Dulles episode, we very much enjoyed doing that. There was a lot of research that went into that, a lot of production that went into that. So we want to do kind of more of those episodes to break up the monotony of me just yelling at you for an hour weekly. So we'll be doing some of that on the break and just, working out some new stuff. We want to do some more short form content for the TikTok and Instagram. I know I sound like one of those guys, but you have to if you want to win in this game. If you want the Church of Darkness to spread, you have to tell people we exist. You got to go to the Instagram. This will end in darkness. You got to go to Twitter. We are now verified. TWEID show on Twitter. This will end in darkness, or the Darkness with Raphael on Facebook. Check that out. Check out our socials. Let us know you're out there. We see the listener numbers holding steady. We know there are people out there listening. We want to hear from you. Who are you people? Are you embarrassed to be listening? Then DM me. Don't comment publicly. I'll accept DMs and I won't leak them. I'm not Kanye. I cherish a good DM. I'm from an era where DMs meant something. But now DMs are another form of content when you want to slam somebody. But I will cherish I'll probably print them out, I'll be honest with you, and hang them on my wall going, this fan was nice to me. And I don't want to forget it because the world could be so unforgiving and so mean. But not during Christmas time. Everyone tries to put on their best face. They try to go, hey, I have a family and I am going to buy presents for a lot of people. I'm going to do my best to show people I care through financial means because I can't do it emotionally. That's weird. They don't accept that throughout the year. Emotion you can't carry. Sentiment, you can't buy anything with it. Gift cards you can. Those are facts of life. I don't make the rules for Christmas. I just know what the rules are. You know, when it comes to Christmas, it's always been said it's a little bit of a weird holiday. Jesus' birthday, kinda. You know, if you believe that. Some people believe his birthday was actually in February. February baby, stand up, we're out here. But even in the Santa sense, you know, they have Siberian legends where people will eat the Amanita muscaria mushroom, which is red and white, coincidentally enough. You see, this is why no one shares the pod, because I make dumb word flubs like that and they're embarrassed to know me. And that's fine. I will get over it. I will become stronger through the hatred. But, you know, they believe they ate the mushroom, and these mushrooms would grow under pine trees, so hence the presents for the pine trees. You know, people would get high and watch the reindeer nearby, and the reindeer would get so fucking into, like, you know, people eating this mushroom that if you had piss somewhere, the reindeers would lick that piss because they wanted the trip too, you know? So that's probably where reindeers flying. You know, reindeers were getting high, you know? Maybe that's where the true meaning of Christmas comes from. Maybe these little elves that people see working on toys, maybe they're the machine elves for the DMT kids. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out Christmas as much as anyone else. There are far better experts than I who can talk to these things, and we should probably have them on the show. I think some of them would do it. I don't see why not. This is a perfectly safe place for discussion of psychedelics in religion and holidays. I don't see why I'd be against it. But I'd also see, given the other content, why some people wouldn't want to come on this platform. It's fair. It's fair. But maybe we're all, you know, just high with the Christmas spirit. And, you know, people always ask, like, what does Christmas mean to me? And, you know, Christmas to me is all about, it's all about buying a better gift than the other person, because you want to maintain the power dynamics in that relationship. And that goes for all relationships. You want to be the supreme gift giver. You don't want to be outdone. People start talking shit, and you don't want any shit talked about your gifts. I know I talk shit. Everyone talks shit about things they get. It's a time of harsh truths where if someone is smelly, you get them deodorant or shampoo or perfume. It's time to let people know the truth about who they are through their gifts. You know, if someone dresses like shit, here's some clothes. We're going to dress you now. We've given you the opportunity to be an adult and do it yourself, and you failed. So we're going to buy you clothes. Hey, you don't go outside. Here is a movie gift card. Go to the movies. Do you have a friend? Take a friend. Do something other than stay at home. You know? Gifts can be a way of getting people to do things they don't normally do. That's the power of a good Christmas, I think. I say a good Christmas, but it doesn't sound good. It sounds kind of passive aggressive. But isn't Christmas about that too? You're in close quarters with your family. Everything's passive aggressive at that point. Everyone's got a knife ready to shank. It's like walking into a Wild West saloon. There's trauma to be found. You know? Let someone say the wrong thing. It's gunfire everywhere. It's bullets over Broadway. If you go to a good holiday party, maybe it's about booze, broads, and bullets, you know, if you're lucky. It's more of a cartel holiday party. But holiday parties, you know, you go and hang out with your coworkers, people you don't normally see on the regular from other departments, because you don't know what they're up to, you know. Who are the guys in IT? What are they doing? What are they getting up to? Oh, are they bored? Cool. Are they looking up executions on the dark web? Probably. They're IT guys. They can get away with that. No one will find out it's them doing it. No one will track their IP address. So we hope. But it's a time of getting together and appreciating the year that was. No matter where you are, family, coworkers, maybe some friends are throwing a party. You can go to that. Most of my friends they throw friendsgivings. Oh, sorry. This week I am the loud one that didn't lower his device. Do you think we get demonetized for that one, sound effect? I think we will. Because Apple doesn't play games, and now I have let them know to come find me. But even my friends, they throw friendsgivings, and I don't attend them because they don't make what I like. These people have a more extensive palate than I do. I stick to my generic, I'll just have lasagna the entire Thanksgiving because I'm Garfield. I grew up watching Garfield and went, that sounds about right, so I'll be Garfield. My name's Raphael. I watch Ninja Turtles. I love pizza. You see, programming. Their lives looked cool. Garfield just laid around being an asshole. I want to do that. Look at me now, eating lasagna, being an asshole with a microphone. Look at me achieving my childhood dreams. But yeah, I don't go to Friendsgivings. I'm not a huge fan of it. I was never into going to anyone else's house on Christmas either. Like if you weren't my girlfriend, I was not leaving my house. I go to my in-laws' house on Christmas Day. That's fun. It's like having two families. It's kind of like a two-family thing. You hang out with yours and you hang out with somebody else's. And there's always free food. And I love free food. My grandmother makes a hell of a lasagna. My mother-in-law makes a hell of a lasagna. It's a win-win for me. I do not lose on Christmas. I do not lose. Undefeated Christmas. My streak cannot be broken. I get new sneakers every Christmas that I design on Nike by You. So I have fresh kicks and lasagna. Can I lose? No, I can't. No, I can't. Christmas, you're making small talk. You're chit-chatting about nothing real. Just to pass the time until you can get presents. Because that's what we're there for. I think that should be it. You get what you want, you leave. Now people would say it's one time a year. Make the chit chat. I gotta make a chit chat on Thanksgiving, goddammit. I'm already chit chatted out. And when you do an hour of this almost every week throughout the year, I mean, what more can I say? Who wants to talk about government conspiracies at the table? Oh, the new JFK files dropped. You're welcome. You're welcome. Clearly, this show has a mega reach, and the halls of government knew better. Do the documents say anything new? Not really. No. Nothing explosive, really. Most of the documents are so redacted that they take out all the juicy parts anyway. So one can make the case, you should have kept them. We're never going to get those documents declassified, by the way. That's never going to happen. Not in my lifetime. But I did my best. I did a whole episode on Alan Dulles. Like, come on now. Don't look at me like I didn't do my job. I gave you a gift on Thanksgiving. I gave you an early Christmas present. I was trying to speak truth to power. It's not my fault it didn't work. I'm but one man up against the system. But some of you were saying, well, Ralph Santa is one man against time and he pulls it off. Well, he's magic. I'm not magic. Thank you for reminding me that I'm not magic. What are you, my high school teachers? There was gas right there in my throat. I had to get it out. I make no apologies. We're keeping it real. But the document said nothing. So there's not much to report on. Sorry. but I made it happen. Isn't that enough? Isn't, showing up sometimes enough? Many dads employ this tactic, and those kids seem to be fine. So is it not enough for me to just start the conversation? I brought Brittany Griner home. I did that. It's going to take me longer to fix the JFK thing. I'm sorry. But I'm trying my best. I don't have my best man on it because I'm literally a solo operation besides dumbass Bobby. But Bobby don't count. Bobby's not real. He's not a real person. If you could see him the way I'm looking at him now, he looks like a Keebler elf. He's gross. And he's an intern, so he's definitely not a real person. This is a dark ass holiday special, but we're fine. We're fine. Christmas is about showing people what you mean to them in monetary value. And for some, you will find out you're not worth much. I know I will. That's kind of how it is. I do my best to spend equally amongst gifts, but the truth is, some people do outrank others, and they will be getting more money or better gifts. And you should not have to make apologies for it. I think a gift should be a ranking system. I've given you this small gift. This is where you are at right now. This is your rank right now. Could you get a better gift next year? Well, you need to be around more, huh? Gifts should be social bonuses for the year. How good have you been to me this year? This is what you're getting. It keeps things simple. And then it also keeps people desperately trying to compete for your love because they want the bigger present. Because that's the cool thing about presents. Like, you get a Christmas present, it's really good. You show people it. And it works for you because it goes, wow, this person is valued by someone highly that they got them that. And then the other person looks good because they had the money to do it. Put thinking caps on, kid. Put your thinking caps on, kids. Think about that. See, this is a problem, man. These flubbies are what's keeping us from being the top of YouTube. Isn't it great to know where you stand with someone based on a present? Because you still get something. So you still feel good. Now, if you weren't getting anything, you should feel bad. You should feel bad. Really bad. And you should wonder why you're not even in the league. How do you play into the league? How do you get in there? We're all looking to ascend up a ranking system, whether it's at work, whether it's in our religion, our church or whatever, our place of worship. Let's be nice. Let's be PC about it. We're all looking to be valued by our family and friends. So why not keep in mind the Christmas present? Why not start investing in the Christmas present, say around July? Summer's a fun time. Everyone has summer memories. Be part of them. You're the fun one. People want to have you around. You've now, in that summer, have set up your fall and winter. Because you definitely get the Halloween invite, what you're doing on Halloween. Now, whether you go to that Halloween thing or not is hit or miss. Thanksgiving, everyone understands if you have family. But if you don't have family, then you should have no excuse to go to someone else's house for Thanksgiving. If invited. Don't be a fucking weirdo. Don't be emo. Christmas, not everyone sees each other on Christmas, but leading up, people do meet up to exchange presents. After Christmas, who wants to deal with that shit? The energy has faded. Everyone's trying to figure out New Year's. So you want to get it done right before Christmas. If you're getting a gift after Christmas, yikes. One or two things happened. Bad luck on the person's part that things weren't coming in on time as they thought it would be coming in, or you were an afterthought. You better figure that one out. But that's the way holidays should be. They should be an ongoing social credit score of who is important in your life. Now, some would say, Ralph, that is mean to look at people that way. But let's be honest, I want the best present I can get. I want the most useful present. One that really benefits me. It's not the glitz and glamour that gets me. It's financial stuff. It's gift cards. You get me a good gift card, now I'm scheming, and I like to scheme. I'm starting looking for the sales, because I like looking for the sales. That's what I love about my girlfriend. She's into the sales too. So always looking for a good sale and a good chance to use a gift card. Help me scheme. Help me not pay for things. And you're a rock star in my eyes. Now, my girlfriend does give me my favorite present of the year, which is my sneakers. Because I helped make them. I designed them color-wise and all that. Then there's my mom, who also gives me a great present all the time. And my brother, who's a present to me every day. The Wonder Kid. No longer on the show, but one day he will return. I am sure of it. But that's the key, you know? My grandma throws some cool stuff in there. My aunt throws some cool stuff in there. My uncle always surprises me. I have a good ranking system right now. I have a good starting 5 for gift giving. I have a good starting family 5. Can't go wrong. But you should start thinking about what you getting for Christmas. Because this is going to air what? Christmas Eve? Well, you run out of hours to up your Christmas present. Now, your best bet is getting invited over for New Year's. If they're having a big party. Or if they're going to a big party, getting the +1. Or the, hey, I'm also bringing his friends, that okay kind of thing. The holidays are political. They're all political. Treat them that way. Mind resources. Have we not learned anything on this show? The one thing we always teach is mind resources. Get what you can while you can get it. Secure the bag. Secure the holiday bag, my friends. But, you know, Christmas isn't just about the gifts. It's not about just, you know, the travel and the cool locations. Some people do Hawaii for Christmas or a nice family vacation like the McAllisters when they went to Paris, which I was highly confused why you would do Christmas in Paris. Paris doesn't seem like a Christmas town. Maybe a New Year's town? But certainly not a Christmas town. It's too stuck up. But it's not about cool locations and presents and cool food that people make only once a year. It's also about those family members that you've been avoiding all year long. The people you do your best not to get into Facebook interactions with, Twitter interactions with, or any interactions with at all. The people you, God bless them, you love them, but you know, they're a bit not there. I like how I use explosions to say not there because nothing's there after an explosion. Do people catch the genius of the things I say? No? That's fine. That's fine. I'm used to being unappreciated on this network, but I never thought I'd be unappreciated by the people of Texas, California, Florida, and New York, which are our top 4 demographics. What up to all 4? But the people, you know, who always corner you into weird conversations. Recently, I've gone into a rabbit hole following YouTube streamers who stream almost every day for 7 to 6 hours. And let me tell you, it's great to have as background noise while you're working from home. I love it. I started following one particular guy. I don't want to say his name on here because I'm afraid that our listeners will go and harass him because he's a nice diamond in the rough, for me. And sometimes on social media, you want to have those diamond in the roughs, those cringy accounts that you follow to yourself, and they're not really cringy to me. Like, I'm not a cringe person. I do legitimately find these people fascinating, how they're operating through life. But there's one guy who does true crime streams, and he's kind of like a hillbilly wanksta Nancy Grace. It's pretty great. Right now he's covering the Idaho 4 case, and he's fascinating to me. He clearly has the IQ of mayonnaise. I saw a comment once say he had room temperature IQ. I said to a fellow commenter, this is the kind of diversity I'm looking for. A fetal alcoholism survivor is now solving real murders. That's the diversity I'm here to watch and here to support. Everything else has been done. Give me the people who, quite frankly, should not be outside their home solving real cases. Now you got me interested. He has nothing really to say a majority of the time, which I enjoy. And he always takes other people's content and shows it on his stream, which he says he's paying them back in exposure. But one thing I like about him is that he's always so positive. It's always positivity, bro. It's never negativity. And I like that because he's comfortable in himself, though he probably shouldn't be. But he experiences a lot of love from these people who call into his stream, these commenters. And he's been on the grind for about 9 years. 9 years. His YouTube video, the highest one I saw was like maybe 10K. But his streams get like 30K. And he goes on for 7 hours taking calls from some of the most unhinged people you've ever heard. People who have given up figuring out their own life and are now going to figure out murders. They're going to solve them. They're going to get to the bottom of it. They're at home primarily, not doing a whole lot more than when I'm working from home and watching this. So I don't know if I'm one to judge, but at least, I'm working from home. So my life's boring. My life's not cool. I'm just, dooting around, working a 9 to 5 like a slave. These people are having wine around noon, trying to time the pills correctly so they get the right high, and solving murder mysteries. So whose life's better? I leave that up to you to decide. But there were a few callers onto this thing that were just fantastic. You've got young college girl true crime fans. You've got bored housewives. You've got guys who want to be detectives. And you have legitimately the stupidest teenagers calling in. He's amassed a fan base I'm kind of jealous of. And it's a lot of women that call in. And it's because women love true crime. We already discussed this several times. We all know this to be a fact. It's kind of a meme now. But he's got all these women calling in because this is all they think about now. And he's talking about the Idaho 4 now, which one caller calling a dude was like, I didn't even know what Idaho was until this case. You didn't know what Idaho was? Idaho potatoes? What does that say about our American education system? It's terrible. You don't know what Idaho is? You have to know what Idaho is. You have to. It's one of those places that get talked about as being fucking West Bubba fucky, But he didn't know what Idaho was until this case. Someone who's never seen a map, clearly, of the United States, let alone a Google map. But the people that call in are so interesting to me. Let's look up this Idaho 4 case because I want to make sure we give you the deets. Okay, this comes from KREM2 News posted 7 days ago. Here's what you need to know.
Today marks 1 month since 4 University of Idaho students were murdered inside a home near the school's campus. Investigators say they have fielded thousands of tips, but still do not have a suspect or a murder weapon or a clear motive. It was on November 13th for Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. All 4 were found stabbed to death inside an off-campus home. It's a crime that shocked and scared the entire community. And while Moscow police didn't provide any new details on the investigation today, they are describing the immediate reaction from the community as police began their investigation at that house.
The scene wasn't chaos, the neighborhood, but it was very, very somber. There were friends trying to find out who exactly was inside the house, some family members that arrived on scene. It was incredibly hard for the community, but it was also really, really hard on our officers, some of whom were very young, and that was the first real major crime scene.
Moscow, Idaho. You would think, with the current climate, you might want to change the town's name.
That they had encountered. So emotionally, it was a very, very draining day.
Moscow police say they have received thousands of tips in this case already, but mixed in with credible tips are a lot of rumors and speculation. Online rumors continue to fuel misinformation in this case. And while they continue to assure the public that they are working around the clock, the victims' families are still waiting for that sense of closure. Sebastian Robertson tonight has more on what is being done and what has been done in the past month.
They shouldn't worry because there's YouTube sleuths taking care of that. There's a bunch of people on YouTube figuring it out. That's what's going on in these live streams I'm watching. There was a woman who, and at some point it was ring cam footage, allegedly. Let's put allegedly on this because I think this might have been debunked, but she didn't know that. And there was a man with a ski mask at the ring light at one point, and she took the picture of the ski mask guy and put it next to the boyfriend's face to try to match them up, and she said, clearly it shows it's him. And the faces didn't even match. The mouths weren't even in the same place. But she was going to solve this case.
There's not answers.
In the months since their murders,
And people are scared. And they're hurting.
we've seen a memorial in Moscow, vigils in Boise and Mount Vernon. A community mourning the loss of Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle and Ethan Chapin, students stabbed to death inside an off-campus home near the University of Idaho on November 13th, all while the investigation works in the background. Nearly 50 federal agents are on the ground in Idaho, alongside the state police and local law enforcement. An FBI hotline has been set up to filter the steady stream of tips.
It's overwhelming sometimes with the amount of information that comes in on these tip lines. So our analysts have spent hours sorting through and trying to come up with the most relevant tips first for the investigators to follow up on.
And that's really because you've got, ever since Mindhunter came out, everyone thinks they're a fucking serial killer expert now. After everyone watched all these true crime documentaries, now they see the signs and they now can analyze evidence. This is where we're at in the 21st century. People are solving crimes in their homes. Because, why get a real degree in it? We had said some time ago, if you don't like your life, imagine a new one. Fake a new one. We're faking one right now. We think we're on a reputable television show. We think we're stars, right, Bobby? Just nod and say yes. Thank you. So imagine a new one. And this is what's happening in a situation. He's probably getting flooded with every dumb theory one could possibly have about this case. Have you tried the water theory? What's the water theory? There's what was it? Fucking stupid ass word. There's water bodies nearby. And maybe the killer was like doing it because those water bodies converge into a singular point and make a symbol. Because everyone thinks they're running after the Zodiac now. That somehow serial killer like the Riddler now. They have like these little riddles. They leave little clues, but you don't. Whatever this is, seems a bit more in-house than out-house. But let's see.
Tips that, as of late, have led investigators to a white Hyundai like this one. They're asking the public for more information as they believe it was in the vicinity at the time of the murders and believe the people inside may have seen something. For retired Seattle Police Chief Carmen Best, public interest can be a powerful tool.
Well, I'll be honest, when I hear that they have a large number of tips, that's good news. You would rather the phones be ringing and information coming in.
Among the heartbreak, there is frustration from family members and students who say they want answers. This, as police say there are key details they can't reveal.
Is it one of these things where it may make sense later why some information is being held back now?
Absolutely, that's almost always the case.
Meanwhile, many students have left campus,
A lot of people went home after the news.
taking the
I'd be
university
going
up
home
on its
too.
offer to finish the semester online.
Murder seems like a good reason to go home.
And again, investigators are still looking for any information regarding the biggest break in the case so far. That is that authorities want to speak with whoever was inside a white Hyundai Elantra the night of the murder. They believe that a car looking just like this one was near the King Road home right around the time of the murders. It's important to note those are not the pictures of the actual vehicle. It's just a picture for your reference so you know what.
Now this killer's driving around a Hyundai Elantra. That says to me it's a young guy. Because only your parents would force you to drive a Hyundai Elantra. I would never choose to drive a Hyundai Elantra. If I was going to be a serial killer, I'm going to go in something a little bit cooler than that. I'd go in a smart car. 2-seat smart car. I can't be a serial killer. I care about the environment. That's my alibi. Do you know how slow those cars go? Where am I trying to get away to? You got to go with things that throw them off you. That's not what this killer did. But there are people trying to solve this case of the Idaho 4. And they're coming up with wild theories. But my favorite part is when people start to reveal things about themselves on these, streams. This one lady called in to the show I was watching. And she was like, well, as someone who's been stabbed before, I find it hard to believe that those kids couldn't be saved. And they didn't make any noise to wake their fellow roommates up. That's how she started the call. That's how she started it. Bold choice to just come out the gate with, I was stabbed. But she did it. And who am I to argue with someone who's been stabbed? I've never been stabbed. So maybe she has a point. Sometimes lived experience does trump statistics or science, I guess. Or, just the evidence. But, the guy was even taken back that was hosting the show. He said, oh my God, wow. Wow. Because that's all you can say when someone tells you they've been stabbed before. What are you going to say to that? Imagine her at Christmas time with her family. Now, she was saying how she had been stabbed by an ex-boyfriend who wouldn't let her go. And, she was a victim of a stabbing from her ex-boyfriend. And the guy, hosting the show, of course, like a normal human being, is like, whoa, bro, I'm so sorry to hear that. And she was like, don't worry. I'm better for it. Now I've heard many reactions to being stabbed. Ow seems to be one of them. I'm bleeding here seems to be another. But I'm better for it is a new one. Is a new one. Amanda was a real bitch for a long time. Kind of the worst. But ever since she got stabbed, she's been a great person. great person, really turned it around. And, maybe sometimes people just need to get the point, They just need to understand their behavior. But had it not been for that stabbing, she would end up turned it around. Now, by the time she said that, me and all the other viewers, the chat got silent, let's put it that way. And the host chuckled a bit because he had never heard that one before either. But my problem was he didn't poke further. What did the stabbing do for you to make you feel like I'm better for it was something worth saying? And now he had been giving shout outs to people the entire time for calling in. And you would think being stabbed would get you a shout out. He did not shout her out at the end of that. And I was offended for her. Here is an older woman, clearly with dementia now, calling into your YouTube show, which, how is she getting to YouTube? Like, I get more and more surprised every day when I hear older people are on the YouTube. See, I'm saying the YouTube, so maybe I'm the old man here. But she called into your show and said, hey, I was once stabbed. Not only did he not give her a shout out, he didn't even offer her the free membership to his Discord he was giving out. What a dick. Another woman called after her. She had nothing to say for 6 whole minutes. Zero. She just kept pointing to a car in the video and going, isn't that weird? And the guy's like, yeah, it's a little bit weird. And she was going, yeah, you can't stop thinking about that car. And then she went to other facts of the case to go right back to that car, which has nothing to do with anything. It's not the white Elantra. It's a black Jeep. But then as she's saying goodbye to him, going, you're a great guy. And this hillbilly winks is like, thanks, Ma. Like I'm just trying to keep it positive and, let everyone speak about how they feel about the case. I just want everyone to feel like they can talk about the case and get their theories out, so maybe we can create a brand new platform where we're trading ideas to solve crimes so we can better take care of our communities. That's what I'm trying to do, man. This guy has a diss track on Nick Cannon on behalf of Eminem. That's the level of cornball we're dealing with. But as she's hanging out with him, she goes, you're such a great guy for providing this platform for us to share our ideas and, talk about our feelings. And no one expected this pivot. I don't care who you are. This pivot, I have been in conversations before with people who have told me some dark fucking things. And typically, they start with a little bit and build you up. They don't blindside you normally. But this lady, who sounded like it was wine o'clock and her husband was banging her sister somewhere, but she had a nice thick Southern accent, so it was kind of endearing. And you would hope that there'd be some kind of kid doing her lawn that would mow her lawn, if you know what I mean, because you felt bad. And I felt doubly bad after this. She said, I know about these kind of traumatic situations, and I'm happy as a platform to speak on it, because my brother once threatened to murder me and cut me in pieces and put me in specific places. And it's kind of why I don't talk to my family anymore. And it's like, how's her Christmas going? I wish I had got her name. I would have invited her to my house for Christmas. My brother wanted to cut me up in pieces, and that's why me and my family don't talk anymore. There is nothing that tops that when you tell people, I no longer speak to my family. You can tell me there were family arguments, money was stolen, doesn't matter. She has the only legitimate gripe one can have with their family. My brother threatened to cut me in pieces and bury me in places, and I don't talk to my family anymore, which means the family took his side. Which then you have to think, how bad of a person is she? That here she is drunk at noon and alone and no friends and no family. But her family took her brother's side, who threatened to chop her up and bury her. And the shit is, she got a shout out. Not the lady who got stabbed. Legitimately stabbed. That older lady got legitimately stabbed. But she, who just gets threatened, gets a shout out from the host after she's gone. And she got the free membership to the fucking Discord, the invite. It's a premium membership. Like, come on. Is there no value or rules to giving away free content and free Discord invites? I couldn't believe my fucking ears. Back-to-back callers of just savagery. And listen, maybe the host after the first time was still wheeling from the first one, and that second one came in like a freight train and killed whatever fucking semblance of what the fuck he had left. And now the emotions were pouring out, and he's like, I gotta give this bitch a free fucking membership. I gotta give her one. Yeah, she wasn't stabbed, but Jesus Christ, she has no friends or family. Her brother threatened to cut her up in pieces, and her family took his side. Like, Jesus Christ, the least I can do is give her a free membership to my premium YouTube content. And at that moment, you know what I thought? We've been doing this show all wrong. What are we doing just an hour of content? I need to quit my job and start doing these streams so I too can have unhinged women calling me, telling me this stuff for content that I can later chop up into clip videos and exploit. Not have any, details on the crime to solve, using my listeners to give me details while I try to cobble it together in my head and call retired detectives who just desperately want to be remembered, and they'll come on the show because, they got nothing else going on. They don't have a job anymore. Neither do I. I'm collecting welfare and YouTube checks. But how come unhinged people don't email us? We've given them the email, thiswillendindarkness@gmail.com. Where's the unhingedness for us? In the comments. Now on the TikTok, things have been heating up, but on the Instagram, where's our unhinged fans? I want unhinged people. Unhinged people buy things. They buy merch. They buy anything I would, say, hey, this is worth buying. I want to win the content game. Just checking on the audio. Is it wrong? I'm not looking to exploit these people. I'm just looking to have them on the show, so we can all get to know them. But she got a shout out in the membership, so that's good for her. I mean, sucks that her brother tried to kill her. I mean, that's fucking rough. I don't know how you recover from that. Not enough gift cards in the world for that to, be fixed. But I'd also like to know his reasoning. Was she annoying? Because sometimes sisters can be annoying. But we will not victim blame here. We're more victim speculating, But this guy has an amazing channel, and I've subscribed because this is what I'm going to be doing during the week now. Watching his live stream, listening to these hillbillies call in, try to solve a murder while also pouring out their dark, dirty laundry on YouTube for everyone to listen to. There was one lady that called in. She's not as crazy as the other two. Well, she's crazy in a different way. Apparently the girls were in a sorority and the guy was in a fraternity. So she's like, there's a lot of corruption in Greek life. I wouldn't be surprised they were covering this one up. And that's why the cops won't release certain information. And she's like, a lot of these kids come from generational wealth, and I come from generational wealth. So I know all about the corruption. Now one would say, what would she know about generational wealth? She's calling into a weird true crime YouTube stream talking about crackpot conspiracy theories. And I hate to break it to you, actually, that's on brand. Is that the goddamn heater, Bobby? They are attacking us personally with the heater. But that's completely on brand for her to be doing that. That's what those people do. They have nothing else going on. They don't got to pay for anything. Let me find something to do with my life. I can either be a fake activist or a fake detective. At least a fake detective is honest. The activism's always fake, but the detective shit, you want the glory of being a genius of solving a crime. Who doesn't want to be next Sherlock Holmes? Who doesn't want to be the NCIS guys? LL Cool J is sexy as fuck. But that's what we all want to be. Someone who solves the big crime, the big mystery going on. That's what we want to do. And she's going to do it. Because she's moved on from mimosas to Long Island iced teas. And she's going to figure out this case. But those are the relatives you're going to see at Christmas. Those are the relatives you're going to talk to. And I hope you do. I hope you give them the time of day. Because all they really want is someone to talk to. They have no one else. They're calling YouTube shows. Now I wanted to call in myself, to be honest with you. And pretend I was a guy interested in this case. But I'm not. And I also didn't want to, purposely troll this guy. Because he's doing a good job, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued about what's going on. But these are the people who are part of your family. So enjoy them. I wish I saw more of the people like that in my family who have weird crackpot theories. Holidays would be fun. I'm probably on my way to becoming that person for my family. I'm excited. You got to find a gimmick. That's what it's all about, being part of a family. Finding your gimmick and playing it up at every family event. You have to talk to these people. You gotta show some compassion, some empathy. These are lonely people. I'm sure there is someone in our family that we would like to chop up into pieces and lead them in specific areas. I just wonder what the areas were. Like, she's never clear about where her brother was going to leave her. Did he have a full-on plan? How did she find out the plan? Did she overhear him talking about it? Or did he just tell her directly? She says threatened, so maybe. But if I'm him, am I telling someone I'm going to do that? Like, that's really super villainish. I don't know if I'm telling someone directly what I'm going to do with their body. Maybe the family was in on it and they were kind of like, he's got a point. He spends the most time with her. Maybe she's got to go. Maybe we'll make a game out of it. A little bit of a scavenger hunt. Found her arm. What is the next clue? You know, to find what's most valuable to her, you have to go to the heart of our family's legacy. And they find out that it's like where the grandfather was born, you know, like his old house, and he somehow buried the heart in the basement. I found the heart. What's the next clue? You know, maybe he had a plan for this. Maybe she ruined some Christmas fun. I don't know. I don't want to assume. She seemed like a nice lady on the phone. I just really wonder why she made sure to say specific places. You know, and this case is speaking out to her, even though these kids were not chopped up and put in a specific place. They were just murdered in their sleep. But she's reaching out for connection. She's hoping that someone, you know, looks to her or, you know, speaks out to her and identifies with her feelings and the things she's gone through. How fucking damaged do you have to be to find connection in a murder case? I don't know. But who are we to judge, I ask? Who are we to judge these people who are so lonely? And the only community they have is calling into YouTube shows, giving out murder theories. You know, of all the time she spends on this case, she could have been going to therapy. Maybe she is. I don't want to assume. You know, it's not right to assume. But it's not working if that's how you end a phone call after telling someone how great they are for giving people a platform to give unsubstantiated murder theories. The woman who was stabbed sounded a bit older. Sounded 70s, you know? Maybe she's been waiting to tell someone her entire life. I was stabbed once, and I have thoughts, and I can provide content. You know? Maybe she just wanted to be spoken to, and this young wankster dude from Virginia providing a platform, you know, to make people feel good about themselves, you know, and just feel like we're all part of something. We all want to be part of something, so be part of something. Let's try to get this crime solved, y'all. And yo, you know what? Like and subscribe, B. Like and subscribe, and yo, throw me something to my Cash App. Throw me something to my Venmo. If you throw me money, I will gift more premium subs. A great tactic for getting engagement. Maybe we should be asking people to cash app us on this show. Doubt they will, though. I like how this is becoming a real Christmas situation. I'm turning on the listeners. Maybe I've had a little too much. Maybe I'm saying what I really fucking feel. You know? Maybe I need to expose some corruption in the Greek life. But I don't come from generational wealth. Like the other lady. I come from very little wealth, which gives me very little access to real things. Therefore, I have to read about it or listen to crackpots on the internet. But if you have a relative like that, take him to the side and let him air it out. Let them defrag the RAM because there's a lot going on in there. And sometimes medicine doesn't fix it all. My Christmas wish would be for those lonely people to find someone to talk to before they become murderers themselves. And I hope everyone has a very beautiful Christmas, a very merry Christmas, and I hope you get everything you're looking to get, or at least things you will tolerate, and you have a very tolerable time. Because Jesus, I've been to some Christmases visiting other homes, and it's not happy. So I can only imagine what some of you listeners are going through on the reg. But Merry Christmas. This is our last episode of this year. We will see you again January 23rd we will post an audio update if that date does change, but you will not be without the entire time. You won't. I am planning to drop a best of episode. Some of the stuff you have heard if you've been listening to the last, I would say, 15 episodes, but there will be some stuff you haven't heard that is from the, I guess, archived episodes. We're going to, sneak in a little bit of those out there. There's little snippets to the old show where I used to host with my brother, some of the sort of smaller bits, and just get a history of what we've done here at This One in Darkness while we are away. But once again, Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year to everyone. I am so appreciative of the growth we did this year. I am so appreciative of the amount of listeners that have come on to this show. It's been kind of, beautiful, and it's been really nice to see other people get the humor and want to be part of it. But please spread the darkness, share clips, subscribe, comment. Actually, if you can rate and review us on Apple, everywhere that you can do that, please do, because it's how we're going to make this a bigger show, hopefully a better show. But next year we have some really cool ideas. The Alan Dulles episode is just a sample of what we want to do this year coming up. And I'm so excited for that. We want to do some outside bits too, like some on-site interviews and stuff like that. We're planning, and we want to reward everyone who does listen to this show, at least starting now, or at least people who invest in us with the best content we could possibly have, because we are eternally grateful for what we have. This studio is not perfect, but we make it work. Bobby is no wonderkin, but we make the best with him. And let me tell you, he's inches away from getting fired, but let's see if I keep him in the new year. That will be a new season mystery. We're very appreciative. Raymond Baxter, executive producer of the show, we are very thankful. Louis Severa, who makes graphics for this show, who did our opening, we are grateful for him. Dirty Marts, who does the music for the show, we are thankful for him. And from all of us here at This One in Darkness, and from all of us here at WRKM, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. But then again, I think we all know how this one is going to end.